Mr. Alan Rassi.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. We would like to thank you for bringing us together tonight. Lord, we thank you for the many blessings you have given us on a daily basis and the opportunity we have as a council to work together alongside our staff for the betterment of our city and the citizens for whom we serve. Lord, be with our men and women of the armed services who serve and protect our country both home and abroad. Lord, we truly thank you for the employees of the city of St. Mary's. Keep them safe and guide them, Lord, as they serve our citizens. Lord, guide us tonight in the business for the city of St. Mary's, and may we do all that we can as leaders in our community to lead and work together for the citizens for whom we serve. Bless us, O Lord, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rassi.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk, would you please do a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Councilman Jones, post 1.
I'm here.
Councilman Connor, post 2.
Present.
Councilman Ingram, post 3.
Here.
Councilman Riley, post 4.
Present.
Councilman Rassi, post 5.
President.
Mayor Morrissey, Mayor Pro Tem James.
Here.
Ma'am, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Clerk, please note that unanimous tonight equals 5. For our first item, we have approval of minutes from June 17th, City Council regular and executive session, June 20th, City Council public hearing on the proposed budget, and June 27th, 2024, special called City Council minute meetings. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Mr. Connor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ma'am, that's unanimous.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd also like to add a presentation by the Vietnam Veterans of America, Camden County Chapter 1137. You all here? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor and Councilmen, we're here to thank you guys for all the help. We started our program about 8 years ago, and we've been trying to keep it going. City of St. Mary's has been real good to us, and we have, a plaque that we want to submit to the council, thanking you guys.
Thank you very much. Okay, sir.
Take a picture.
Hold back, sir.
Roy.
We need to get your name, please.
I'm Roy Cheney, and
Mr.
I'm president of the Vietnam Veterans, 1137 Camden County, Vietnam Veterans.
Would all y'all come up?
Excuse me. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much for your service. And if you have any other people that are with you today, if they could also come
Guys,
up.
stand up, you guys here.
Thank you.
Get him in the picture.
Get him all in the picture up there, yeah. Get a good picture with him. You should get down there, Mayor Pro Tem. Go ahead, get down, let Mayor Pro Tem get down there too, brother, with you.
Buddy McGinn. Everybody.
I was in the...
That's a picture. They jump us on anybody that like to
Thank y'all very much for your service.
Tough time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen, again for your service.
Here, every one of them.
We now have a board announcement. This is a vacancy for the St. Mary's Hospital Authority. We also have a board announcement for term expirations for the Downtown Development Authority as well as the Coastal Regional Commission. And as customary for every meeting lately, we have a board appointment term expiration for the Camden County Board of Education Sex Education Instructional Review Committee. And as we mentioned last time, the service for that committee is about 1 to 2 times per year. So if you're interested, please reach out to our city clerk, and I'm sure she'll help you with those applications. Next, we have a report from our finance director, Ms. Marcia Klecken.
Good evening, Mayor and Mrs. Mayor.
Good evening, thank you.
I'm not, I don't know.
I don't know. Right now you're, now you're
How
on.
about that now? Is that ready? Okay, you have in your council packet for this evening the financial report for the revenues and expenditures for May, ending May 31st, 2024. That is the 10th month of our fiscal year FY24. Is there any questions?
Looks good.
No, it just looks like the general fund is trending,
Down.
Down, yeah.
yeah.
But
It's that time of
typically
year
does.
again.
Sure,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving right along, we're going to go ahead and set our consent agenda. So we have, old business A, which
Consent.
is the.
Consent.
Thank you. We have new business A, which is Volkert Inc. Task Order Number 9 for.
Consent.
Consent.
Thank you for letting me finish the sentence. You're welcome. We have item B, which is our Senior Center Phase 2 renovations contract change order.
Consent.
Thank you. We have item C, which is England, Thames and Miller, also known as ETM, Task Order Number 4.
Consent.
Consent.
Thank you. We have item D, which is Tax Allocation District Number 3 Procedures and Policy Adoption.
Consent.
I think we should discuss that,
Oh.
just so that,
Okay.
that we can
That's
have a
good.
little discussion regarding that.
Awesome.
Good point.
Sure. He wants to discuss it, so we'll discuss that. And then we have item E, which is a Gulp Hotel Enterprises, Inc., LLC, DBA Cumberland Kings Bay Lodge, new alcohol license.
Consent.
Consent. Thank you very much. All right, so, council, so we have a consent agenda, which consists of old business A, new business B, C, and E.
Motion to approve the consent agenda is read.
We have a motion we have a motion by Mr. Riley and a second by Mr. Connor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll also now have approval of the agenda, which included the addition of the presentation.
So moved.
Motion. Thank you. Have a motion from Mr. Riley. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Rassi. Next, we have our granting audience to the public. And this is for agenda.
Mayor Pro Tem James?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I didn't hear the vote. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. All those in favor? We'll do it again.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ma'am, that's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have our granting audience to the public, and this is for agenda items only. What? Okay, well, hearing none. Moving right along, we also go ahead and move into our agenda, which includes discussion of the tax allocation district number 3 procedures and policies adoption.
Yeah, I had asked for that, Ms. Mayor, and that was so that we could have our Community Development Director just talk a little bit about that for the folks that weren't in here during the session we had a little bit earlier. And also, I get a couple questions at the end of it.
Okay, hopefully I can field them. Thank you. Good evening to the council members and the public joining us. Before the council this evening is adoption of tax allocation district number 3 procedures and policies. What this really is, excuse me, I'm going to do this. For those of you who were not able to join our working session, if you recall, in November of 2023, we formed our 3rd tax allocation district, roughly 900 acres behind the hospital, so it's a landmass which is largely undeveloped. It is sort of encircled by Kings Bay Road, St. Mary's Road, Route 40, and Coleraine, if you have that in your mind. Tax allocation district number 3 is a little bit different. What we reviewed this evening was basically procedures for how those who are proposing a development within that area, within that region, let's say they're proposing a development that will increase the tax base there by $20 million. They'll put a proposal forward to an advisory committee, so we'll agree to form an advisory committee, which will review that proposal and allocate up to 15% of that overall tax increase to be reimbursed to the developer over a period of time. So it's something that's called pay-as-you-go. So basically, you put forward a development proposal, and if your development proposal yields that incremental increase in the tax base, then you can, over, let's say, a period of 10 years, get that increment back to you. So it is a way that the city can prioritize certain types of development in that region. So we set a series of standards of what the incremental financing can go towards. It's public infrastructure, water and sewer, roadways, public improvements, open space, parks, playgrounds. So it's a way for us to try to get little carrot there for a developer as they bring forward a proposal to try to get certain amenities back out of it. So really the procedures and policies will lay forward a process by which applicants will come before my office with a proposal. Then they will submit a full application if we feel comfortable with their proposal. That will be reviewed by an advisory board that is largely appointed by the council. I will also sit on, and someone that the city manager designates will sit on that. They'll make a recommendation to council. Council will have the ultimate approval.
That was
Thank you.
very good reading.
In a nutshell.
Version. Thank you.
That's great summary, and I hope that everybody was able to hear that and understand it. The question I have is, what do you anticipate will be the time frame that will start advertising, move forward with getting the committee established and so forth?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, there are very few currently landowners in the tax allocation district 3. Although it's 940 acres, there's only a handful of landowners. 2 of the largest landowners, we've already been in discussions with their projects. So they have initial phases of their projects that are moving forward that, because we haven't set up the TAD yet, the procedure, there's no proposal yet. But we have had a lot of development interest in the parcels that are actually across the street from St. Mary's Road. So I think that I would like to do this as quickly as we can, so that if those developments do proceed at a breakneck pace, which is how we're seeing development right now, that we would have this in place and that we can, again, negotiate several community benefits in those agreements. So if I had to put a time frame on it, I would like for this to be, hitting the quote-unquote streets within 2 months.
Okay.
2 months. Okay.
Thank you. You set the time.
Okay, 2 months.
We'll try
2
to keep
months.
it.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
I don't have anything.
None.
A motion to adopt the procedures and policies?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there any discussion further?
No, that was good.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ma'am, that's unanimous.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, one item on the agenda, that's very nice for discussion. We'll now have we'll have our report of our city manager.
Well, everything else is going so fast. It's
Before you,
kind of bog it down.
it seems like it, before you go, I do want to welcome our city attorney, Amanda Sicoli. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not trying to set any precedent there, okay? I'm sorry that I didn't acknowledge you from the very beginning. Thank
We're
you.
very glad she's back.
Thank you for being here.
We really are. Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens. Trying to do this as quickly as I possibly can. As most of you know, we had our bid opening for the LMIG 22, 23, and 24 on the 25th of June. And so at your next council meeting, you'll hopefully be able to have those in front of you to vote on and get that ball rolling.
Okay.
On the TAP grant, I've included in your packet the actual schedule that has been given to us. As the process, it's very lengthy.
May I ask you one more question?
Yes,
Before you
ma'am.
move forward, I know we're trying to go fast. On the LMIG, I did speak to someone from the Department of Transportation last week in Savannah, and it is open now for the following year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We're already on it,
gotcha, thank you.
already tracking. But you have some dates in front of you for that TAP grant that we've been working on. It's gone through the engineering phase and things of that nature. So there's next steps there for you to look at. We've got some things happening here very soon in the month of July, which we are now in. Moving ahead out of that, in the engineering design for lift station 13 and 15, the force main separation. The second phase of that grant that it was actually a congressional appropriations, thank you.
There you go.
That has been submitted, we've completed that paperwork and it has been submitted. Under human resources, as you may remember from your last council meeting, which, by the way, thank you very much for allowing me to have the time off to be with my family. But Mr. Williams reported that we had an internal survey of the employees. We hope to have those results gathered up and compiled for you within the next week. Under IT, we are in the process we've got the basic format of the new website. We are making sure that we've got fresh information rolling out. And that's what the holdup is. We are in contact with our boards and authorities as we speak to get their desires and their look and things of that nature. So that is moving ahead. Under finance, there will be a property tax sale, which is scheduled for Tuesday, August the 6th at 10 a.m. in the council chambers, which is this room right here. A list of the properties will be available on the city's website and will be updated weekly until the date of the sale. From our finance department, thank you for all your hard work on the FY25 budget process. The new budget is in effect today. Happy New Year. Finance department has been working diligently. They were even in here over the weekend making sure everything was loaded up so we could actually turn on the lights this morning. So, and that's figuratively speaking, press, so don't quote me on, we didn't pay the bill. We did pay the bill. Police department. PD is currently interviewing for the open police records technician position. They are preparing to send the SROs to the conference in Forsyth, which is getting their baseline SRO training for the year. The week of July 15th, the St. Mary's Police Department will be hosting the SRO tactical training with Villette Group. All three agencies are committed to this, which will put all 15 of the SROs countywide in the training. Their statistics for the month answered 2,947 calls for service, conducted 1,054 security checks, and conducted 312 traffic stops, issued 181 citations, and issued 131 warnings, with 514 hours of in-service training. For clarity, Chief, that is for the year, correct?
The 540.
Those stats that we have here, those are for the year?
No, sir, that's for the month of June.
Okay.
Wow.
You had 514 hours of training?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Our fire department, the average response time for fires is 4 minutes and 24 seconds. EMS calls is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Average turnout time is in 51 seconds. Just FYI, that's them getting dressed and getting on trucks and rolling out of the station. Average calls are averaging 6.71. Calls for last month was 199, I'm sorry. Estimated dollar loss for fires is $145,000. Estimated dollars saved, $429,826. Our building department has one position with the beginning of the new fiscal year to fill, and they are in the process of doing interviews for the second position. And you should have received a monthly report via email today of the building department's numbers and for the entire year. So please check your emails for that. Okay. Tourism, and this goes from about every department you have right now. The preparations has been for 4th of July. Okay, she's also been making sure we've got music in the park and everything else, but our tourism department has been very, very busy. In community development is excited to welcome Miss Geraldine Reamy as our new senior planner. Ms. Reamy is an exceptional addition to our team, bringing with her 16 years of applied municipal planning experience. Our code enforcement team will be transitioning to use the cloud permit to receive and archive resident complaints and concerns. Emails and phone calls are still a great way to contact the department, but we will begin asking residents to enter their concerns into the cloud permit portal. The department will begin transitioning all of Planning and Historic Preservation Commission applications to cloud permitting this month. Along with that goes training that will be available. Also, she has in there, we will probably be having the new additions to our community development department at our next council meeting, so you and the citizens can meet them. There's also a code compliance officer that will also be at that meeting. In grants, been working with the tree council or tree board on a couple of grants. Has also been working with the HPC or the Orange Hall for a grant for that building. Also been working and looking towards finding grants for our sewer changes there. And you can see the other one's been working with DNR for the Aquatic Center, DNR for downtown flooding area, Georgia Forestry Tree Board, and so forth and so on. Rolling on down, our library, if you have children at home and they need, or grandchildren, at home and need something to do, there is a reading program currently going on with the library, and they recently had an event and they had 250 people turn out for that. That building was packed with kids. It was fantastic. Burrell Bridge on Burrell Boulevard. If you will remember, we were notified in June of last year that the weight limit on Burrell Bridge had been reduced due to deterioration of the pilings that hold the bridge up. On June 28th of this year, the following events and timelines of what happened, we ended up closing it. At approximately 11:30, Bobby Marr texted me just after the Georgia Department of Transportation inspector left his office to let me know that they had closed the bridge. I was actually in a meeting at the time of the text. At 11:42, I emailed council notifying of the situation while staff was putting out the notification to the public via website, Facebook, and Code Red. At 12:38, got details from Mr. Moore and the actions that needed to take place according to GDOT. The process had already began. He was reaching out, trying to find the concrete barriers. GDOT was very explicit in what they wanted to close the bridge, and one of the reasons for that was, and it's not in writing, but that is to help us expedite getting that bridge work done. So that's the reason we went with the concrete barricades, and the bridge is completely closed. I've also included in your packet a picture of the pilings that you can look at, and you can see the deterioration. And when you think about it, remember those two pilings in the middle are the primary supports for that bridge. Just FYI for our folks out there, you should be seeing the new welcome signs to St. Mary's being installed this week.
What?
So, and my understanding is that they're sharp.
I forgot about them. Sorry.
I didn't. You have the new, as of tonight, we do have a new task order number 9 for the Haddock Road Loop North and South. That has been included in your list. Upcoming work sessions. We have received back the personnel policy draft from our attorney, so staff will be going through his recommended changes. And then we'll, as soon as we get through with that, we'll be getting back with council for approval on that. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep a watchful eye on the tropics and local weather. The hurricane season is picking up. If you're unaware, there is a tropical depression that is rolling, or has already rolled on to Mexico, and we have Burrell, which has probably been one of the most powerful storms we've seen in a very long time that has generated. It is staying well below us. There is a low that is following suit along the same path. Still way too early on that one to be able to know, but keep a lookout and please pay attention. Last thing I have to say for the good of the order, don't forget the 4th of July is this Thursday. We'd like to wish everyone the happiest on this special day, and we ask that everyone please be safe. That concludes my report. Sir.
Two quick questions. On the citations that the police department issued, how many of those were for littering?
I'll get you an answer to that, Councilman.
Thank you. And what does the estimated dollar save mean in that fire report for amount of money lost?
That's compared to the value of the structure, and they estimate the damage compared to the value of the structure, and that gives you what the save number comes up with.
So they just take what the appraised value or something?
If it's $500 and they save, they have $200 worth of damage, you've got a $300 save.
Okay, thank you.
Is that a cumulative number, or is that per structure?
It's a Robbie number.
Okay. I'll add that to my new calculations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Robbie, how long do you anticipate the Burrell Creek Bridge being out of service?
That is an unknown. GDOT is controlling that. They're the ones, and it's been in the pipeline, but with what's going on now, this is moving it up further in the process at a quicker pace, if you will.
Okay.
So it's unknown at this point in time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and thank you to our city manager. I know you juggle a lot, and I think it's important that we recognize that. I don't think people realize how much you do. Thank you very much. All right, next we have granting audience to the public, and these does not necessarily have to be agenda items. I thought
Go Bert.
I thought I saw some forward motion, so I just wanted to make sure.
I gave you that picture hoping that you would
Yeah, it's
stand
gonna
up
be
to that.
quick. Bird Seals, 816 Riverview Drive. Quickly, that tax allocation district, D is in Delta, is that we talking the one where Gilligan's Island across from Hippo?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then, are we going to clean the entrance by the water? I call it the waterfall. Are they gonna clean that thing before the 4th of July parade?
Yeah,
They've been working on it.
They did? That-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went by there, I could see there, what we talking? Said, thank you. I said,
The natural
Vegetation.
vegetation, they left that.
okay.
Thank you, sir. Any? Thank you. Name and address, please. Thank you.
Shirley Sessoms, Boston Court, St. Mary's. I had already just discussed with Audie about the 4th of July, about having, what you call those,
Some
golf carts?
transportation for older folks.
For older folks. Because if you all the way down there and you cannot come no closer and you have to walk it, I'm sorry, I can't walk it. But I would come if the city provided someone with some transportation to get down
We
here.
have golf carts.
I will
Is there
discuss-
any identification on the golf carts, letting the people know that it's a ride downtown? Say what you want, I'm in my 70s, so I can't make it. I need help. So anyway, can
I
y'all
will
do that?
discuss that in my council comments about the
Okay, all
golf cart.
righty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? All right, seeing no further forward motion, we'll go ahead and move on to our calendar. Madam Clerk, would you mind reading our calendar?
Yes, ma'am. We've had some cancellations of meeting on Wednesday, July 3rd at 5 o'clock p.m. Main Street office. The Development Authority of St. Mary's has canceled their meeting. On Thursday, July 4th, city buildings will be closed in observance of the 4th of July. Also, on Thursday, July 4th at 2 o'clock, the tree board has canceled their meeting. At 5 o'clock p.m. was the rescheduled master plan third quarter update, which was rescheduled for the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, which is the master plan and town hall, to Wednesday, July 10th at 5 and 6. Also on Monday, July 8th is the canceled Downtown Development Authority meeting in the Main Street office. On Tuesday, July 9th at 5:30 p.m. here in Council Chambers, the Planning Commission meeting. Again, on Wednesday, July 10th at 5 and 6 o'clock, we'll have the third quarter master plan update, followed by the third quarter town hall meeting. And on Thursday, July 11th at 9:30 a.m. here in Council Chambers, the Orange Hall Management Committee meeting, followed by the 5 o'clock p.m. St. Mary's Intracoastal Gateway meeting in Main Street. On Monday, July 15th at 6 o'clock p.m., the City Council meeting here in Council Chambers.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, now we'll have our council comments, starting with post number 1, Mr. Jones.
First of all, I'd like to thank Robbie for the tremendous work that he's done. I know I heckle you a lot and everything, but I really appreciate what you've done to the city of St. Mary's in the last few years. And a special shout out to our fire and police department. Chief, I think I've told you, our police department is awesome, and we really appreciate it. I see things on Facebook, and I have people calling me. One time they used to call me complaining about the police department, but now they call and think that some of your officers need some kind of accommodations to go with their pay because of the job that they're doing. Policing now is different, and I won't get into it, but your officers do a great job. And the Vietnam veterans that left, especially Roy Cheney, I wanted to remember him back from the 70s. And I just want to say that I was in the Vietnam era between, I think it was 65 to 75, 67 to 75. 3 minutes. You was 3. Okay. Well, at that time, thank you. That's all right. And Bert, you know, you were in the Vietnam era also. Soldiers at that time were the most unappreciated people in the United States. You know, we went through a lot of things, and then we had to come home and fight with the public. So my hat is off to the Vietnam veterans, especially the ones that were over there. And this holiday, you know, remember these people because they keep us independent. And I'd like to say to all of Camden County and St. Mary's especially, happy 4th of July. And surely I'll have my golf cart down here, and you have my number. If you need a ride, give me a holler.
It's a pleasure to be on City Council and try to do the very best we can for the citizens of St. Mary's, the majority. But when I look at it, I mean, we are surrounded by some unbelievably great people that work for the city of St. Mary's, and we are also surrounded by some great people. We have a unbelievably great community. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. Robbie and Bobby, I know that you guys have been really, really busy this week. You know, extremely busy trying to get everything done, and y'all have done a wonderful job, and I really appreciate everything y'all do for the city. And from our sheriff, I mean from our police department, and I always mess it up, and he's actually laughing back there. But from our police department all the way down, planning and zoning, thank y'all for everything y'all do. And the city of St. Mary's is a great place to live. It's an unbelievably great place to live. And let's enjoy our 4th of July. Let's enjoy this week and get ready to go back to work the week after that. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just first want to make sure that, I know everybody echoes this, but thank you for our veterans, and that was a great gesture and presentation to the city, and that means a lot, so thank you, and thank you for your service and what you guys have done for us. I just wanted to make note that Mr. Burt did ask us a question about, if the tax allocation district was at Gilligan's, and I think we all said yes, but he didn't believe us till he saw Jamie nod in the back. He's going to turn around. Thanks for the trust, Mr. Burt. I know Alan's going to discuss this more because he has all the details, but I'm pretty certain the Kiwanis do have a courtesy cart they have riding around, but he can probably have to flag it down a little better. And outside of that, thank you to all the city staff that's put a lot of heart, soul, and effort. That goes from Public Works to Chief Galloway, Community Development, and everyone getting ready for the 4th of July. So just hopefully it turns out great. I'm sure it will. And I hope everybody has a fun, happy, and safe 4th of July.
Okay, it's my time, and without going into great detail, but our staff does do a tremendous job from Robbie all the way down to the mechanics that are on the street doing the work and that, and we all appreciate them, and it makes our job much easier from up here on the council to have that type of support out there in the field. And with respect to the Vietnam veterans, I too served through the entire Vietnam era and thought that during that time it was pretty rough for you guys, especially when you come home, as Artie had said. And I was glad to see, or happy to see you up here presenting the city with the plaque that represents what you've all done to make the United States a better place, what you went and did during that time. So thank you. And last two things is the this past weekend, I had the opportunity to go up to Savannah and attend the Georgia Municipal Association conference, and it was really a tremendous conference. They had many things that we were able to learn. We all took classes, those of us that had the opportunity to go up there this past weekend, did a lot of networking, so the information that we get from there, we're able to bring back and apply directly to what we do here on the council. So, and the last thing was, when I got back on, I think it was Tuesday, I had the opportunity to go over to the Conservancy meeting that they were having over at the Crooked River State Park, and they had asked me to come in and talk a little bit about the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program and the fact that we got that grant award for the Tabby Trail. And I have to say that I thought it was well received. And the other thing is our Community Development Director, Jamie, was also there and gave a presentation that was just one of the highlights of the show. Unfortunately, I got there just after she finished, but I heard all the people talking about how great it was. So thank you for that, Jamie. I'm sure that helps us. And then I think his name is Peter, the guy with the Big Mental Studios. He did a presentation as well. And I'd worked so hard to get pictures of the rookery, and he had given a movie of all the birds flying around, so that mine didn't have much impact, but they still appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm probably going to be the long-winded person tonight.
No.
But I'm going to be strategically smart in my efforts, and I appreciate what you all shared earlier. We will have golf carts downtown, taxis. We have got several golf carts lined up to be able to bus people downtown and take them to their vehicles throughout the day. And they're Kiwanians, and so we appreciate what they're doing. I'm going to be very smart about this. I will tell you that at 9:15 p.m. the show starts. If you get there at 9:20, you'll miss most of it. Actually, not most of it, but it'll be an awesome fireworks show. I would like to thank the Public Works Department, Police Department, and Fire Department. We've had to navigate around the Burrell Creek Bridge and all that, and the 5 and 10K races. 5K races not affected. What the 10K race is going to do, they're going to run the 5K twice, and we've got that covered. I'm going to, at this time, ask Chief Galloway to come to the podium and Miss Angela Weir to come to the podium and give a debrief. Yes, you let me attack. In your comments, when you mentioned the traffic pattern change, good luck, Chief.
Also said just refer them to the city website.
Yeah.
For those that aren't aware, we are doing a little different with traffic this year. At 9 p.m., we're going to shut one lane of Dilworth down, so both lanes of Dilworth will be coming the same direction out of town back towards 40 and Dilworth. We'll have that entrance blocked off where nobody can turn right and go to downtown on Dilworth. If you're coming from downtown that way and you need to get to Bishop Circle or something, just stay in the right-hand lane and you can make the right-hand turns, and all right-hand turns off the feeder streets will be fine. For Gunner, Nelson, you'll need to go on out to Highway 40, turn and come back in there. If you live off of Ashley on Nancy Drive or Burrell, please contact the police department. We're going to have placards made up so that you can get to your residence from Dilworth, because if you can't get by going around to Highway 40, so you'll have to come in from that direction.
Will that be posted on the website as well as the Facebook page too?
That will, and we're actually going to take tomorrow and Wednesday and go to door off Nancy and Burrell, just to see if anybody is coming to the fireworks and make sure they have the placard so they can get back to their residence.
Okay.
Also at 9 o'clock, we'll be shutting Meeting Street. If you're coming off of Meeting Street, you'll have to turn right. We'll have cones there. We're going to use the parking lane as a travel lane, so that'll take you all the way to the 4-lane at Finley. So that we'll have 2 lanes coming out of downtown. One will be normal, and then one will be coming off the Meeting Street. and merge right there. And then we just want to just make a reminder, and it'll be on the city website. There's a pretty good video that Candace has posted on the website now that helps explain a lot of it.
See, it sounded a lot better coming from you than me. Thank you.
Chief, just quick question. Are you saying that golf carts cannot go down Gunner Street off of Dilworth?
We're working that out right now about the golf carts, because you can't take a golf cart.
That's exactly
out
right. I mean,
Highway
we
4.
can't be on Osborne.
That's right. So, but if our main concern is trying to keep people that live in there to let them get to their residence and not clog it up with non-residents.
Yeah. You're talking about on the golf carts?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Angela?
So if you live back there, you can turn there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the main questions from folks have been about the parade. Is there one? So of course, there's a 10 a.m. parade. We've got about 120 vendors this year scheduled. New things this year, we have the Camden County Community Band that's playing from 9 o'clock until about 10:10. So until the parade gets up to them at Conyers Street. Thank you, Alan. And we've got a watermelon eating and seed spitting contest at 2 o'clock at the St. Mary's Waterfront Park. We have the St. Mary's Fire Department Hydrants and Hounds Cornhole Tournament that's happening at the park at 5 o'clock. That's a fundraiser for them. And we do have a well-rounded rock band, I'll say, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the St. Mary's Waterfront Park. And then we will have postings, just as the chief said, about the traffic, free parking throughout downtown. There's limited handicap parking available in downtown. Those locations are on Reddy Street over by the marina, the Intracoastal Gateway Marina, and on Seagrove Street next to the National Park Service parking lot. And as Alan said, we do have golf carts, and Miss Shirley, they are marked with Kiwanian signs. So I think that covers
You
it.
talking about music? Could you do that?
We did, I did. Covered. Yep.
Okay.
And I've got some little maps.
I
I'll probably update this so that the print's a little bit bigger so that most of us can read it. But this will just give everybody an idea. So I'll just leave one for you and pass a couple out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and one last thing I'll share with you, we're gonna be pulling the no parking signs up on the east side of Osborne Street, all the way down to by the Baptist Church. We're gonna be pulling them up after the parade, and so then cars can migrate down there to get closer to downtown. And it takes a concentrated effort on everyone's part, and I was bugging Public Works yesterday when I was putting no parking signs out. So I appreciate everyone. So thank you and pray for good weather, and we need that definitely.
Robbie, I'd like to say one other thing, and I don't want to let this slip by, but y'all, Alan Rassey, he puts in a ton of work for the 4th of July. And I'm not going to say that it's him only, but he has a major part of us even having the fireworks. So, Alan, I wanted to say how much I appreciate what you've done the last 10, 15 years with the fireworks, because you're in a situation, and there are probably other people that work with Alan that I don't know about, and I appreciate y'all as well, but I do know Alan has been doing this for a very, very long time, which means loading the barge with the fireworks, finding a barge in the first place to shoot them off of, and then having people to shoot the fireworks, and hopefully they don't have to jump in the water or whatever. But Alan, thank you for everything you've done with your group, and if you've got some other names that help you, I'd certainly like to hear them. But I would certainly like to say thank you to you, because you go above and beyond this in this community like no other people, in my opinion.
I'm glad you brought up the point about the groups, because there are 3 primary groups that help us put fireworks on in St. Mary's Port, Cumberland Island National Seashores helps us out exponentially with a command center for the Camden County Search and Rescue, Sheriff's Department and the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. And we've been fortunate that we haven't had the Florida Coast Guard up here because we load in Georgia and we shoot in Florida.
Well, you just need to be closer to our side of the river.
No, can't do that.
All right.
Right, Tom?
Thank you.
Don't try to change anything. It's
We're good. We're in Georgia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Rassi, for all of that, and please continue to look on our webpage for updated information. So I would just like to say thank you to the Finance Department. We actually have closed our budget last week, and it has been approved, so thank them for all their hard work. I also met with the city manager regarding the landscaping that we discussed at the last meeting, so thank you guys very much for immediately looking into that, and I think we have a plan in process to be able to address some of the landscaping and the beautification of the city. We also have had some citizens that have reached out as late as today asking about that, so we are working on it, so thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. I'd like to thank our police and fire department. You know, one of the major roles that municipalities have is to protect and create a good quality of life for our citizens, and we cannot do that without a great public servants that we have in our police and fire departments. I'm not going to name all of the titles because I don't want to create any new desk ornaments for anyone. So, Captain and our chief, thank you so much for all that you do. And I also received some direct messages regarding an incident over the weekend where you all were very patient with someone that had a mental health issue, and I know that also creates challenges. So I'm happy to hear that we're able to address those. So thank you very much for that. As Mr. Riley mentioned, we did all attend the GMA conference last week for several days. It was very enlightening. I was able to get some good information, which of course we'll bring back. One of the most exciting ones was around blight remediation. Got a lot of good information around land banks and affordable housing, and it will go hand in hand with our Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. So I'm excited about seeing that move forward. Also, I was sworn into the Board of Directors for GMA, as well as named the Community Development Chair for the state. I'm excited about that. That's going to help us. That's going to help us in St. Mary's. Also, I want to thank everyone that's worked so hard for the July 4th in terms of safety. I don't even know some of those streets that you mentioned, but all I know is it's all going to be going in one direction at some point in time during the day, so we need to pay attention to when that happens. We're looking forward to a safe and happy holiday. Just a side note, my brother's birthday is on the 4th of July, and mine was on February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. So he got a party every year, and because I grew up in the Northeast, I got a snowstorm every year. So now that I'm adult, I can actually enjoy the 4th of July in a community like this. So I mean, no, it's like, 'cause things come full circle. So I'm excited about celebrating the 4th of July with the city of St. Mary's, which I feel like is my family as well. Thank you to Mr. Riley for everything that's happening with the Tabby Trail. I'm excited to be able to see that come to fruition. And the council and staff, you know, we can't do what we do without everybody working in great collaboration with each other. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I'm wishing everybody a safe and happy 4th of July. And with that, I'll ask if there's a motion. We have a motion to adjourn. We have a second from Mr. Connor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Ma'am, that's unanimous. Thank you all for being here today. Meeting's adjourned.